Good morning everyone. This is Automotive Air Conditioning and Auxiliary System, practical number 2. Practical is air conditioning, right? In this practical, this is the apparatus, and our objective is to understand the humidification change after and before evaporator, right? And in other way we can say it, the water quantity in the air, right? It changes after and before the evaporator, right? And this apparator, you can see the ducts on the table. Duct cycle is on the table, right? Which carries the airflow, right? And below the table, right inside the table, you can see there's a condenser and compressor, and also expansion valves also there, right? But in the basic cycle, there should be a basic air conditioning cycle. There should be a evaporator, right? That evaporator is merged with that duct cycle, right? And this is the apparatus which we are going to measure the humidity of airflow, right? And in here you can see in the duct cycle, you can see there's a evaporator, and both side there are two different heater, right? And inside of that duct there's a fan, and so by rotating fan we can change the airflow, right? This is one inlet, and another one is there's another hole, that is outlet of the airflow. And in every place of the airflow there are two different thermostat, right, to calculate the wet bulb and dry bulb temperature, so that we can measure the humidity, right? This is a control panel above the table, right? From that control panel we can easily find out the temperature of that airflow, right? And this is on of which switch. So in the control panel you can see there is a layout for that duct cycle, and also the air conditioning cycle, okay? And in here you can see every sensors are connected, right? So we can measure the dry or wet bulb temperature in any place in the airflow cycle, right? So just rotating this rotator, right? Now it shows 8, right? So likewise now it is 11. By rotating like that, we can, in this display we can directly measure the temperature, right, of that place where it is pointed out in that duct circle, right? There are two different temperature, no? One is dry bulb and wet bulb, right? This is 11, no? Therefore this is one of the temperature in one place, right? So and this one is for the start of compressor, right? And this both for this two heaters, right? I already explained in the duct cycle there is a evaporator, and both side there are two heaters, right? So for that two heaters we have two other display here. And now this is a compressor, right? This is a cycle for that air conditioning system. This cycle is only connected with that evaporator, and in the inside of the duct there is a airflow always, right? There's a fan, so we can by rotating fan we can change the airflow, right? Now that bulb is on, that means the left side of the heater is on now, right? In the heater you can see there's a red color and green color, right? Red color one is the temperature. Now what is the temperature of that air flow inside of that heater, right? The green color one is which up to which temperature we have to achieve, we have to move, right? Or we have to increase, right? Now we will look at that two different thermostat, right, or temperature sensors, right? In here you can see there are two thermostat, right? One is wet bulb and another one is dry bulb, right? For the dry bulb, to measure the dry bulb temperature, we have to pour some distilled water there, right? That's why it is like that, right? So if we know that dry bulb and wet bulb temperature in one place of the airflow, then we can measure that humidity, right? That is what we are going to do here, right? And by using heater, we heat it up the airflow, and we will change the humidity, right? That's how we change the humidity in this air conditioning system, right? By rotating that rotator, we can measure the temperature in any place of that duct cycle, right? In that duct cycle, you can see there is a ST1, ST2, like that. The temperature of that place has some specific name. So by rotating the rotator, we can measure that or we can check that temperature of that airflow, right? Now it is 6, it is in that place of the 6, T6, temperature is 31 degree, right? 31 degrees Celsius, right? 6 means ST6, right? And also this is the display for one of the heater, right? Now we will set that high or that limit, temperature limit, right? Now it is 35 now. Then we have to press mode again, right? Then it will the heater will be automatically on, right? Now it is that inside of that heater, now it is, the temperature is 32 degrees Celsius, but it will increase up to 35, right? This display for that, this heater, right? Left side heater, right? Other one is now off, right? You can see that bulb is not blinking now, therefore that is not working. Only this heater is working now, and we know that it will increase the airflow heat up to 35 degrees Celsius. And if you want to measure that humidity inside of that heater, just we have to calculate or measure that inside and outside of the temperature, right? Two different temperature of that airflow, right? Dry bulb and wet bulb. So then we can directly we can calculate that change of the humidity after and before that heater, right? That's how we change that change the humidity of that airflow, right? And also I already explained there is a fan to change that airflow, run that air flow in that duct cycle. This is a switch for that, right? We have to on, and we have to by rotating regulator we can change the airflow rate, right? But here we are not going to change the airflow rate, but we change the temperature of the airflow by using heater. By looking here, you can see this is evaporator which merge with that duct cycle, and this is the inlet, and there are two pipes for inlet and outlet of that evaporator, and both side of the evaporator there are two different heaters, right? And that evaporator is connected with that, the one pipe is connect with that expansion valve, and then connect with that compressor and condenser. You can see below the table the black colors, right? There are condenser and compressor, right? So in this practical, by using heaters, we are changing that humidity of the airflow, right? For your lab report submission, you have small calculation, right? This is preheater inlet and outlet temperatures, right? And you have two set of data. So for each set of data, you have to calculate this relative humidity, dew point, and specific enthalpy, and this specific volume, right? And that is your calculation part, to just understand that that humidity, that air properties is changes throughout this preheater, right? With that calculation, you have to answer for this 5 discussion questions, right? And your lab sheet, I think you have 3 discussion questions. So in here I have added 2 more discussion questions. So fourth one is explain the functions of each components in air conditioning system, and the last one is you have to provide a sketch for the basic cycle of air conditioning system, right? Thank you.